Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Christal. As many of you know, I started a Women in Real Estate feature where every third Wednesday of the month, I highlight a woman in real estate on the move. And one of the beautiful things about this feature is that it's not just agents. I have any woman in real estate. And today I am so excited to have the fabulous Sheena here with me. She is an online business strategist for real estate professionals. Hey, Sheena.
Hey, hey, hey.
I actually, this is the power of social media and even like online networking, because Sheena and I have actually never even met in person. I was attracted to her Instagram post and I connected with her, and here we are. So I love that she was willing to take time out of her very busy schedule working with high achieving real estate professionals to just spend some time with us and share a little bit of her story. So, Sheena, will you introduce yourself and also share a little bit of like your backstory of what it looked like when you first came into real estate?
Okay, for sure. First off, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to have this opportunity to spend some time with you. I really,
Yeah,
really appreciate it. But
so welcome.
everybody, I am Sheena Gilreath, and I am the founder of the Leverage Co. And we help real estate agents leverage systems, automation, and people.
Mm.
So with that, as far as my background in real estate, I've been in real estate over 20 something years.
Wow.
As soon as I graduated from high school, I went straight into real estate school.
Oh,
And
wow. That's so
yeah,
cool.
it's been an amazing journey. It has. It's
Yeah.
so from going to real estate school, I didn't pass my test initially. And
Mhm.
so, everybody's feeling really defeated.
Yeah.
And so I just went into apartment rentals first. And
Okay.
from apartment rentals, it developed being a leasing coordinator to assistant manager to property manager. And then I went and worked for a builder. And we built the
Okay.
first residential high rise in downtown Nashville called the Viridian.
Oh, wow.
And so there, I was very, very inspired. I was still super young, so young when
Yes.
I look back on it. But I had some very ambitious and driven women around me who were
Mm.
like, girl, you can get your real estate license. Come on, we're going to support you. Da, 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 da. So just
Yeah.
the fact that I had those women to rally behind me, they did help me pass my test.
Oh,
But
I love
then it
that.
just seemed like, where was people at once I got my license? I need help because this business is a lot. It
Yeah.
is a lot, a lot, a
Mhm.
lot. There's so many things to do.
Yeah.
And you can only imagine in the early 2000s, we didn't even have this technology. There was no Facebook, there was no
Mhm.
CRM tool.
Right.
There was none of this technology. Everything was paper. And filing cabinets full of stuff,
Right.
Rolodexes.
Yes.
We didn't even have map. I think we might have had MapQuest at the time,
Yeah.
but we didn't have GPS. Like we
Mhm.
literally had to print out the maps
The map. Yes.
and take them with you. And then don't let it be in a brand new neighborhood, girl. If you're in a brand new neighborhood,
Or the map just ends.
yeah, you're like looking around like, well, what am I supposed to do? So it was very time consuming, like all of it. Everything
Mhm.
about it was time consuming. Even the door
Mhm.
knocking part, like that was the most scariest thing. In picking up the phone and calling people straight from the phone book,
Yeah.
girl, it was a
Yes.
lot back in the day.
Wow, you put in work. And let me ask you a quick question, real quick. Coming out of high school with your first attempt at the test, right?
Mhm.
Like, how did that, what drove you to do that? Did you have a family member or a friend who was,
No,
tell me, like,
girl, I'm gonna tell you. In 1993, the Home and Garden channel came out. And I
that
was
is
addicted.
classic.
The Home and Garden. It was Kitty Bartholomew. She was my
Oh my
favorite.
gosh.
And Martha Stewart. Girl, I was over there making curtains. I was, Mama would come home. When she would come home, I would redecorate the whole house. I'm like 12.
Oh my gosh, that's such a sweet story. I love that.
Yes. So honestly, it was the Home and Garden channel that inspired
Wow.
me, which is
Wow.
now today's HGTV.
My favorite
And
channel. Yes.
yes. My husband knows because I don't really like to watch TV. So
Uh-huh.
as soon as I plop down on the couch and I'm like, I want to watch TV. He knows exactly what channel to
What
go.
channel?
Yeah, because there's nothing else. If it's not
Oh
HGTV, I
my
don't want to watch
gosh. I
it.
love it. Focused. I love it. Okay. All right. So you
So
were
yeah,
saying
so
that.
that's really where
Yeah.
the addiction came. And then I think because I grew up, we always lived in apartments. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I always had the aspiration to have a house. Like, I'm like, Mommy, how come we don't live in a house? And all my
Mm-hmm.
friends have houses. And
Yeah.
so, being able to put myself in that surrounding in that area was what I wanted to do.
Mm.
It was just natural.
Yes. Okay. But tell us too, what happened once you were licensed and then like that group of ladies, because I love also connecting relationships in our talk. How did those ladies stay a part of like your mentorship or your life after you were licensed? I know you went through like, apartment rentals and then new construction, but like how did they stay in your life? Did they?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They
Okay.
didn't.
Yeah.
Um, they didn't. I mean, and back then as well, it wasn't a lot of people that looked like us.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
very male dominated.
Mhm.
And even in that area, just very and I'm biracial, so
Mhm.
I'm Caucasian and Black. So there was
Yeah,
a lot of Caucasian people.
definitely.
So it was just a different time, like we
Yes.
still struggle with that.
Yeah.
But even back then, it was just like I was just another Black girl. Like what I was just not embraced. Like
Mm,
I was already
mhm,
young, I was a
mhm,
woman, and I
mhm,
was Black. So
mhm.
like it was just not a lot
Yeah.
of support and help.
Yeah. Yes. No, I
So
hear you.
with that being said, it was just I had to learn as much as I could learn. I failed a whole lot. I dropped the
Yes.
ball,
Mhm.
fumbled the bag. I did all of that, everything that could
Yes.
ever happen. I've been through it, done that, a
Yeah.
lot of disappointments and setbacks. But I honestly feel like all of those things has positioned me to be in the position that I am today.
Yes.
Because sometimes I'm going through systems and programs and things like that, and then something from the past pops up. I'm like, oh, I've been there. I've done that.
Yes.
I can help you
Uh-huh.
navigate that situation a little bit better.
That's
So
right.
I think I can say that I'm super grateful for everything that has ever happened. And, just because I didn't have that support, it drives me to want to support people. Like, I feel like
Yes.
there's enough out here for everybody, and what's for
Mhm.
you is for you, and no man can hold that back from you. And
Amen.
so I'm here to give you any information that I can give you. It's all up to you if you want to implement.
Absolutely. I love that. When did you transition out of being an active agent into this amazing company that you've created now where you really do like strategize behind the scenes so
Yeah.
that way
So
women and yeah, go ahead.
pretty much I was licensed in Tennessee,
Mhm.
licensed, became a broker in Tennessee.
Okay.
Then I was out in California. I got my license in California. And then I
Wow.
moved to Houston and I was licensed in Houston.
Okay.
So Houston is the last time I practiced. Now I live in Virginia. So
Okay.
I've been all around
Mhm.
the world.
Yes. The
So
coast to
I've
coast.
seen
Yeah.
how real estate is transacted from the East to the West Coast and everything in
Yes.
between. And so in 4 years ago, I got pregnant with my daughter.
Mhm.
And right before, like the day I found out, I was accepted into the real estate, the Texas Leadership Program.
Okay.
So it's called the Texas Realtor Leadership Program.
Mhm.
And I was like, Lord, what are you trying to say? Because I had this big goal, like I'm about to be this mega agent. It's been
Mhm.
too long. Like I'm, being right there, like just barely making enough money. Because at that time, the average real estate agent was making like 34,000. I think I
Mm.
was just right there, like
Yeah.
always, year after year. And I'm like, I've been in this business for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not that dude. I'm not that girl yet. What am I doing? What am I doing, Lord? So I found out I was pregnant. And
Yeah.
so I'm pregnant. Now I'm really like, Lord, is this what you want me to do?
Yeah.
But that program in itself, I was selected out of 28,000 real estate agents at the time. It was a group
Mm.
of maybe 28 of us.
Mhm.
And it was a bond, like for 9 months. I was the baby mama of the group.
Yeah.
And
Literally the
so
baby mama.
I was pregnant, and all of us, we were able to like, have that collaboration and learn
Yeah.
and grow. And like, there was so many wonderful classes that we took together. And I was just able to assess the needs that they had. I was like, I'm not the only one.
Yes.
Like, as a real estate agent, we are very time poor. There is not enough time in the day to do everything that a client may expect from you. Especially if you're working with multiple clients. And
Yes.
when you're working with a client, most of them want to feel like they're the only one you're working with.
That's right. Yep.
So, you have to be able to leverage
Yes.
people, systems, and automation in order to do all the things that you need to do. And that's what I came to realize during that time with them. And then I ended up starting my own company because I had them to kind of be like my focus group and ask them a lot of questions like, hey, what do y'all need support with? What do y'all need? And so, that's the difference between myself and a coach. A coach is going to tell you what you need to do. Oh, you need to get some systems. Oh, you need to implement this lead gen idea. But who is actually holding your hand and making sure that it gets done? And that's where I come in. I definitely help them with all of the implementation. I used to say I'm an online business manager, but now it's just gotten it's just way more than that.
It's so much more than that. It really is. Yeah. I love how you leveraged your experience, really like having access to those, other 27 women in that program with you, and really
it was men as well.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. Like having access to that. And I love what you did with it. So the company that you have now, you primarily work with like high achieving real estate professionals that are closing at least like 3 to 4 transactions a month, right?
Yeah, 3 to 4, and they're going up to 10, 11, 12, 15.
That is so amazing. That is so good. Okay. And then tell me a little bit about, because one of the things that I mentioned when we opened the call of how I found you, and one of the things I mentioned is how well you mix in not only like your personality, how you serve real estate professionals, but also like your family. And so tell me a little bit about what that looked like for you to manage like being a new mom, right? When you had this, because when you started this company, was it after she was born, or
I
was
was
it while you were
actually
still
pregnant.
pregnant?
I was pregnant while I started it.
Okay. So what did that look like, you like balancing everything?
Oh my God, girl. First off, let's just say I was a brand new mama at 37 years old.
Yeah.
So
I can relate to that. I was 36 when I had mine. Yeah.
Old mama. It's different when you a young mama. Young mama's got that snapback. I'm like, oh Lord, then I gotta get up out the bed.
Oh my gosh. So what would you describe yours? You said they have this snapback. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. You tickle me.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine was not a snap. It's like whatever you call drawing out the elastic and then slap you upside your head, like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh, you crack me up.
But no, like,
oh my gosh.
It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. And if it wasn't for it was just, like life in general, like there's just a whole lot of stuff that's going on in my life during that time. Because at first my business, I had actually started another business with my transaction coordinator, who was also my friend. And I think that more was like the jump off point for the Leverage Co. So me and her ended up separating, and I started the Leverage Co. Because the business that I had with her was more of a transaction coordinator. She was doing all the transaction management stuff, and I was helping people with like their marketing, their social media, all of that type of stuff. But then she went back into corporate America, and I was left with all of these files, and I'm like, you was my transaction manager. I don't do this. I can't handle it. All this paperwork is too scary for me. I know what I can do, and this ain't it.
But you're like, I know my lane.
I'm gonna stay in mine. And that's where the leverage code, that's how it like actually, took off.
Yeah.
But with that, I just had, by that time I had my little 8 month, 9 month old baby.
Mhm.
And I breastfed for 23 months.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
that in itself was a lot,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
there. But thank God I had the computer, and
Yes. Yeah.
I this is what I had always wanted. I wanted to be able to work from anywhere in the world, and be there with my child. So I was glad I was making that a reality. But at the same time, managing, I was newly married,
Yeah.
now newly a mother. Girl, if it wasn't for these pills I take right here, Zoloft. And I'm telling you, mental health, like I ended
Mental.
up getting diagnosed with it, with anxiety disorder,
Okay.
because I ended up having a breakdown.
Yes.
And so that mental health piece of it all, like, this helps me. This is my tool to help. This is what I leverage.
Yes.
I leverage this in order to be functional and get all the stuff done that, as a mother, as a business owner, as a daughter, as
Yes.
a wife, all of the roles that we play every
Right.
single day,
Yeah.
just I can get it done.
Yeah. And, these are the conversations, especially for women in business who especially, I think, especially when you have a young family in business where your kids are little,
Mhm.
those are conversations that I think sometimes we don't have enough about the importance of our mental health, right? And
Yeah,
that it can be a lot
yeah,
when you bring this new little human into your world. And um yeah, I appreciate your vulnerability and just sharing that, because that's something that I value as a topic that's so important. And I always like to create a safe place for that conversation to be had, because so many people listen who wouldn't be okay sharing that that's going on. But I think the more we talk about it, then they'll understand that it's okay for me to share that I may
yeah.
be
It's
struggling
extremely
sometimes.
important.
Yeah.
Because best believe that I was not discomfortable talking about this. It was
Mhm.
embarrassing. It was like, oh my
Mhm.
God, like something's wrong with me. Like I have a mental
Mm.
disorder. Like
Mhm.
I have a disorder. Like my
Mhm.
mind ain't
Mhm.
right. Like I'm
Mhm.
smart as a whip.
Right.
Don't play with me. Like,
Right.
and like if I hadn't had those breakdowns in front of my daughter,
Yeah.
it ended up being multiples. Um, I put her in a compromising situation.
Mhm.
So now it's like I will never do that again.
Right. Right.
Therefore, I'm going to take my medicine.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
think in just our culture and our community, is something is wrong with you if you have to rely on medicine, or you have
Mhm.
to go talk to a therapist. But there is something wrong with us. We have a lot of traumas. We have
Yeah.
dealt with a lot of things, and some of that stuff has been passed down
Yes.
generational. Like,
Yeah.
and it's okay for you to go get help. It's okay for you to seek
Absolutely.
somebody to talk to. It's okay. And you don't have to feel bad
Mhm.
about it, because you never know like what somebody is going through whenever you
Yes.
see them on social media, or whenever you're
Mhm.
walking past somebody. That smile is a mask. Like,
Mhm. It can be. Yeah.
you just don't know what a person
Mhm.
is going through and what they have been through. And
Yes.
so, you know, I think, to me, in order for me to be the best person that I can be, I'm
Mhm.
gonna make sure that I'm doing everything for my self-care, my mental health.
Right.
And yeah, I just gotta be the best I can be. And
Yeah.
if that means taking some medicine, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
That's right. And I really want to go back to what you said earlier, because I think that's really important, how like even the thought of accepting that we may need help, like sometimes we'll let that take away from like who we are, like you were saying, like this can't be me, like I'm a smart girl, like I have this. And so I love that what I see you have transitioned into now is like that's like I am that girl, I'm smart, intelligent, I run a business, I have these different roles that I serve in, and right, this is how I manage my mental health, like right, it
Yeah,
doesn't take away anything from like who you are.
no, it
Yeah.
doesn't. And I
Yeah.
mean, it took a minute to get there. It
Fair.
definitely took a minute to
That's
get there.
fair.
It did not happen
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah.
But I think the more that I talk about it, and I
Mm-hmm.
see that I'm not the only person, like
That's right.
there's so many people that is just like, when I tell them that this is what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and that this is an option for them as well, they're like, oh my God, like you're a blessing. Like I didn't know.
Yes.
Like some people just struggle and they don't even know that there's a solution to the
Yes.
problem that they're dealing with. And so
Yes.
if I could bless anybody's life by just telling them like it's okay if you need to go talk to somebody, if you need to take some medicine, it is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with you. You are
That's
human. In
right.
this world that we live in, it's crazy.
Yes. You have to
So
get the support and the help or whatever, however that looks like. Is that a
whatever it looks like
therapist?
to
Is
you.
that medicine? Whatever that looks like, right? And so, yeah, I applaud you for just sharing that because we didn't even really plan to have this conversation, but I'm
Right. No, we
always
didn't.
open to it. I love that so much. So thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Okay, so I have kind of one more question, and then we're gonna close it out because this has been like a really great just time with you because I'm just getting to learn more and more about you. And I love your story and just how you show up is like you just have your own like style and like the way that you come across. And I love it a lot. I think I
Thank you.
see why your clients are connected to you and the way, obviously the service that you provide on the back end, but I definitely see the connection. Okay. So tell me a little bit about like what you have learned about relationships during your time in real estate and like how you nurture your relationships. Like, how do you take care of like, maybe even the relationship with your husband, right? How do you make sure that you're making time for everything as a busy entrepreneur in real estate?
The full focus planner. Oh, I can't, y'all don't even think you can see it right
I
here.
love that. I have one of those too. That's so funny. Okay, tell me, for those of you who don't, for those, who don't know what the full focus planner is, go ahead and share how you
It's
use
an
it.
achievement system. It's
Yeah.
not just a planner. Like
Yeah.
it really helps me break down my goals into
Yeah.
quarterly actionable items.
Yes.
So relationship wise, my child, my husband, they are a part of my goals, like making sure that
Yes.
I am the best mother for my daughter,
I love that.
making sure that we're taking time to read the Bible and
Yes.
she's learning. I have her, stuff that I want to teach her.
Mm.
Um, so the full focus planner, I'm actually a certified pro to
Oh,
teach the
okay.
full focus planner.
Yeah.
So, but I love, love, love this tool. And I mean, I've only been using it now for a year,
Mm-hmm.
but I have seen
I love
um,
that.
so much growth since that
Yes.
time that I've implemented it. And then as far as my clients go with
Mhm.
nurturing those relationships, um, I mean, things that I've learned is that everybody's not for everybody. All
Yeah.
money ain't good money.
Yeah.
And it's okay for us to
True.
say bye
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. And then another
Yes.
thing I know is no is a whole sentence. I don't have to
It
explain
sure is.
anything else to you. It's
Yes.
no.
Yes.
And I think being able to have clear boundaries around my schedule and
Mm-hmm.
the way I want people to communicate with me,
Yeah.
um, I think that allows me to keep things business. And because it's really hard to have, you can, okay, baby. She always has to make a grand appearance.
It's okay.
Baby, I'm recording something. I'll be there in a moment.
Oh
Stop
my
it,
gosh,
please.
she's so cute.
Okay. So yeah, it's just all about balance for me. But I
Yeah.
do have some really great clients that end up turning into friends.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just all about the nurture balance and
I
just
love that. Yeah, I love that because so far in this feature, I've never had anyone answer like that, where you said like literally like my daughter and my husband, they are a part of like my achievement goals that I have, right? How I show up in those relationships. Like I can imagine that even looks like being intentional with date nights or like
Mhm.
because especially when we have young ones, I think sometimes it's easy for us to, for lack of better words, kind of neglect are the husband and wife relationship. And so
Yeah.
making sure that that has time, right? And yeah, so that was a no one has ever answered like that. So I really appreciate you sharing that. I love it because it makes sense that it keeps it top of mind for you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Like, and I
Yeah.
even, I do vision boards. So I have my vision board as my desktop. So I'm
Mhm.
constantly being reminded about, making sure, because we do quarterly trips, vacations
Okay.
together. Me and just me
Yeah.
and my husband. So
Oh, I
that we
love
have,
that.
yeah, so we have 5 to 7 days where it's just the two of us.
Oh, that's
So
so
even though we
good.
can't, have all that intimate time when we're, at home with the kids or whatever,
Right.
we
You
do
make
make
it a
sure that we
point.
have that time.
That is good. Quarterly, like date trips. I love that.
No, they're quarterly like vacation. So we go away for
Ah,
5 to 7 days.
oh my gosh.
But then we also do like a one-off, like once a month, where we just go and do like a staycation.
Okay, that is so good. I hope the listeners are taking notes because I really think those are, if you can implement something like that, or just even, get an idea about how you can do something similar. I love that so much. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
You have to be intentional, and that's
You
what I try
do.
to get everybody to explain. I mean, to understand in my classes is that you know it all begins with you. You have
Yeah,
to make the time. It's not going to make itself. We
that's
all are
right.
blessed with the same 24.
Yeah,
We all have 24 hours, and you know how you put so much securities around your bank account.
yeah,
Our time is our most valuable asset. We
that's
will
so
never
true.
get our time back. You can always go
Mhm.
out and get more money.
Right.
So why are you not putting the same protective mechanisms around your time?
Yeah.
And we all got into real estate, or we all got into entrepreneurship for the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to
Mm-hmm.
create that freedom. You have
Yes.
to create that structure in your business, that 9 to 5 or whatever it's going to be, whatever your schedule is going to be, it's not going to set itself.
That's
You
right.
have to make it that. And you have to run
Mm-hmm.
yourself as a business, because this is not a hobby. This is a real
Mm-hmm.
life business. You are helping people with the most important purchase of their life.
Yes.
So you need to stop acting as if this is just a joke, that this is just
Mm-hmm.
something I do freely. No,
Yeah.
this is a major corporation. Look at yourself as a big business.
Yeah.
And guess what? Nike closes at 9 p.m. You cannot go to the Nike store at 9 p.m. And they have things set in place that lets
Yeah.
you know nicely that, hey, they got you tomorrow.
That's right.
Maybe
Right.
they got you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, they have their schedule in place. They have their emails that they're kindly going to tell you that nobody's in the office or whatever it is. So you need to run yourself just like these big businesses do. Because
Yeah.
guess what? Back in my day when I was doing real estate 20 years ago, I was doing it prior to 20 years ago, but back 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have the competition of Zillow and
Right.
Redfin and all of
Yes.
these big major companies. Those
Mm-hmm.
are, you not only have to worry about the real estate agents, you got to worry about these big companies.
That's right.
So, and best believe Zillow got their stuff in order. They got their
Yes.
systems in place.
This is so true.
So,
I love that you share that because I was actually going to ask you to share words of wisdom. And I think that's a perfect way to kind of end our conversation is the mindset to be in to run your business. Don't think of it like a hobby. Don't think of it, like it's something that you do sometimes. Like this is a company. Think of
I
yourself
got
as a
another great
manager.
one.
Give me
This
one more.
one more
Give it.
is that, guess what? Every day you ain't at the closing table, you unemployed. You
Oh,
ain't
that's a
got no
good
job.
one. Oh, that's an
Because you only
interesting one.
got a job when you getting paid.
Yes.
You ain't no real estate
Mhm.
agent unless you at the
Mhm.
closing table. So you need to make sure you got to close it every day, boo.
I love
And
that.
I
Oh
and
my
I've come
gosh.
across some agents, and I get so excited. I'm like, "What, you got to close it today? You got to
Yeah.
close it today and tomorrow." That's what I'm talking about. Every day we want to close it.
They need to like send a proxy because they have so many closings. Like, go sit at the table
Yes.
for me because I have too many today. I love that.
Yes. Yes. And that's what we're trying to get to.
Yes.
Closings every
That's
day.
right. Closing table day. I love that. Oh my gosh, Sheena, I love your personality. This has been such a fun conversation. Okay, before we go, because I know people will want to connect with you, go ahead and share. How should people connect with you? What's the best place?
Instagram. I
Yeah.
love the gram. You can catch me on
Mhm.
the gram at Sheena Gilreath, and that's
Yeah.
Sheena Gilreath, Gilreath. And then at the Leverage Co. if you just want the business. But if you want some of me, follow me at Sheena Gilreath.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it has been an absolute pleasure. So, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this Women in Real Estate feature. And remember, connect with Sheena. She's a firecracker, and you got to see that today. All right, everyone, take care.
Bye.